sued. And if you want to click a button, we're actually going to sue the people that are the social justice warriors that work for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton that like clicking those buttons. Your IP address is going to be recorded, okay? So be very careful if you get involved in that conspiracy to do a takedown with Silicon Valley, because we got a way to find you too.
So there's an excellent report that I want to get to right now. We're going to come back and get
right here. This is an important report.
Is activating Marines for domestic emergencies and aiding local police for a threat they say could come any minute. We're obviously in a very serious situation right now, but here's a report from Ms. Kalik from being spooks to being spokespersons. Here it is.
After years in the shadows overseeing espionage, kill programs, warrantless wiretapping, entrapment, psyops, and other covert operations, national security establishment retirees are turning to a new line of work where they can carry out their imperial duties. That is, propagandizing the public on cable news. Reborn as cable news pundits, these people are cashing in. So many years working in the dark, only to emerge in the studio lights of the same networks that rail all day, every day against state TV from countries America hates. I'm talking about people like
former CIA Director John Brennan, who is now an NBC News senior national security and intelligence analyst.
Ah, yes, John Brennan, a serial liar who, as the nation's top spy, defended torture and lied about U.S. drone strikes killing civilians.
I need to add something to that because nobody emphasizes this point. John Brennan was the CIA station chief that signed off on the student visas, the incomplete applications for student visas, and also the applications for student visas that were denied because some people were on the terror watch list. And he allowed the terrorists on 9/11 to go through the Jeddah, Saudi Arabia station that he was a chief of. That John Brennan, that one.
Drone program he helped architect. Now he gets to spew his talking points unchallenged on NBC. NBC isn't alone in hiring former spooks as pundits. Almost every network has hired former national security people to fill its 24-hour news coverage. I'm looking at you, CBS.
Fran Townsend is a former Homeland Security advisor to President George W. Bush. She's now a CBS News senior national security analyst.
But CNN takes the cake. It's the biggest scoop show of all.
Joining us now, former Director of National Intelligence, Jim Clapper. He's now a CNN National Security Analyst.
Retired General Michael Hayden, former Director of the CIA and the NSA, the National Security Agency. He's a CNN National Security Analyst.
CNN Legal Analyst Asha Rangappa is a former FBI Special Agent. James Galliano is a CNN Law Enforcement Analyst and a retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent. Good to see you.
Joining us now is CNN Global Affairs Analyst and former Deputy Secretary of State, Tony Blinken.
Blinken is also former Deputy National Security Advisor. And that's why, there's more? Seriously?
Join me now, CNN National Security Commentator, former Chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Rogers. We now have Samantha Vinograd, who was a senior advisor to the National Security Advisor under President Obama, and she's a CNN National Security Analyst.
CNN National Security Analyst Stephen Hall. He's the retired CIA Chief of Russia Operations. Joining me now is CNN Counterterrorism Analyst Philip Mudd, a former CIA counterterrorism official.
Of course, this isn't CNN's first dance with the devil. Back in 1999, during the bombing of Kosovo, CNN let military propaganda experts work out of its newsroom. So why is this so bad? By hiring former spooks, these outlets are allowing them to their news with constant and at times willful disinformation that's never challenged or corrected. It might as well be state TV. It's why CNN screens are filled with an endless parade of belligerent war hawks, fear-mongering the public about America's adversaries. Oftentimes, these are the same people that helped lie us into wars when they were working for the government.
It is completely corrupted journalism. The whole point of what we were supposed to learn from the debacle of WMDs in the Iraq War, which, by the way, this network that we're on was one of the leaders of, was the fact that we were not supposed to trust intelligence agencies when they say things without evidence. And not only did MSNBC and CNN use those people as their sources, they hired them as their news analysts. So if you turned on CNN or MSNBC, it was basically state TV. It was CIA TV.
These so-called analysts are forever loyal to their former employers, whether it be the CIA, FBI, NSA, DHS, or any of the other agencies that make up America's so-called intelligence community. After they retire, they go on to shape the news, propagandizing for the abusive national security state they spent their careers working for, and they're never ever challenged by their corporate media colleagues. Because they spent so many years inside the security state, their instinct will always be to defend it, no matter its abuses. And they often have contracts with foreign governments and various security companies that benefit from whatever talking